As someone who's been a One Piece fan for a while, swords on the show have always been a mystery for me, so today let's talk about them because although there's many types of swords, the ones that cut things have always confused me. I'm pretty proficient in the other type though. Getting right into it, there are two main sword groups, Meito sword and non-Meito, aka bum swords. What's the difference, you may ask? Well, this is a Meito sword, and this is a bum sword. Meito sword, bum sword. That's right. Meito swords are only wielded by those who are displayed naked in the famous phenomenon known as One Piece is real.
It's been a year, man. I need to find new jokes.
Okay, jokes aside, Meito swords are swords that have a name, which basically means they've actually done something. The unnamed swords are most likely in the hands of some second-rate pirate or marine, and will never get screen time in the story, and these swords are basically irrelevant. Looking deeper into Meito swords though, there are 4 rankings for them. Grade blades, which there are an unconfirmed amount of, skillful grade blades, which there are 50 of, great grade blades, there are 21 of these, and finally supreme grade blades, of which there are only 12. Here's a nice little picture I got from the wiki, which along with Tashigi also happens to be where I'm getting all of this information. But delving deeper into the ranks, here are some examples of each blade that we've seen in the story. For grade blades, the most famous example is the Sandai Kitetsu, which was seen wielded by Zoro. For those of you who forgot, this is the sword in the famous Zoro taking Gacha to a whole nother level panel, and oh yeah, now's a good time to also talk about the Kitetsu blades. The Kitetsu blades are 3 swords which come from Wano, and they're the Sandai Kitetsu, a grade blade, the Nidai Kitetsu, which is a great grade blade, and the Shodai Kitetsu, which is one of the 12 supreme grade blades. We'll talk more about the last one soon, but it's also cool to note that these names signal which order they were made in, with the weakest one being made last and the strongest one being made first. Oh, and also now's a good time to mention that these blades are also cursed and notorious for cursing whoever wields them to, well, die. Also a good time to note that these swords, because of their cursed nature, have to actually choose their user, which is what we saw happen with Zoro in Logtown. Alright, moving on from these creepy blades, let's talk about skillful grade blades. There are 2 notable ones for this category, which include the Yubashiri, which was given to Zoro from this silly guy, who also held on to the Sandai Kitetsu, which ended up going to Zoro, so in a weird way, Foxy's uncle over here ended up being one of the most impactful characters to Zoro. Final notable skillful grade blade is the Kashu, which is currently owned by Tashigi, but was previously owned by Mr. 11, who got his ass handed to him by her anyways. Now onto the great grade blades, which have many more notable swords, like the Wado Ichimonji, the sword that Zoro has wielded since the beginning of the story, and one that was given to Zoro from his master after he vowed to become the greatest swordsman alive after a specific event. Side note, look how nice these stairs look. I wish I could walk down these stairs. Shisui is another notable great grade blade that was wielded by the legendary swordsman Ryuma, and after it was given to Zoro following the events of Thriller Bark, it eventually found its way back to Wano as Zoro traded it to Hiyori for another great grade blade, Enma. Shisui now lies at the tomb of Ryuma, and since its life in combat is mostly over, let's talk about Enma. Enma's probably my favorite sword from this entire list and was wielded by the legendary Kozuki Burn D Alive Odin. He wasn't even a D, I just wanted to make that really shitty joke. Enma, to put it simply, has aura. The sword has fought against 2 of the supreme grade blades and scarred Kaido. The sword requires proficient armament hockey to truly utilize, but when it is fully used, man is it fun to watch. The sword itself will probably stick with Zoro till the end of the story, and right now, it is his most powerful sword. And real quick, to wrap up the great grade blades, there's also the Ame no Habakiri, which was used by Odin alongside Enma, and currently resides at Wano, and then there's the Nidai Kitetsu, which we previously talked about. And finally, let's talk about the supreme grade blades, which, well, how do you even get there? Great question, me. To become a supreme grade blade, a sword has to go through countless battles and withstand in order to become one of the fabled supreme grade blades. Currently, only 4 of these are known, and after seeing who their wielders are, it makes sense just how strong these swords are. Real quick though, before I reveal the 4, a black blade is a blade which is turned black due to constantly being infused with armament hockey, and it is said that a sword when it becomes black goes up a rank on the scale. Okay, yeah, cool, back to the reveal. The 4 swords are Murakomogiri, which was used by the late great Whitebeard, Yoru, used by the current greatest swordsman Dracula Mihawk, Ace, used by the pirate king Gold D. Roger, and the Shodai Kitetsu, which has been all but confirmed to be used by a member of the Gorosei Venus. Yeah, that's literally why I just wanted to make this video. It's because Zoro went, oh my god, it's a Kitetsu blade, and I was just like, well, what is that? And then people were like, oh, it's a supreme grade, and I didn't know what it meant, and yeah, now I'm rambling. With the lineup as stacked as this though, it's no surprise that to have a supreme grade sword, you have to be next level. But as Zoro continues to train, I'm excited to see him turn his sword black and become a wielder of the supreme grade sword, something he'll have to do if he wants to claim the title of world's greatest swordsman. Alright, okay, that was it for me. Quick video, thank you, bye.